Alrighty, Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It's Monday. TGIM. Thank goodness it's Monday. And here we are, fixing on my J4X, getting that straightened out. Let's get over to... Oh, we're missing a lot. Okay, let's find the dollar index. Where are you, dollar index? Now I got the dollar index up on Chicago Quant. Now I got to go hunt it on here. Let's see. Maybe just punch it in. I guess that's part of the process. Oh, let me get the chat line up there too. Chat line. There we are. Let's lower this volume there. And double click on that. There we go. And I see the chat line now. There it is. Hey, Robin. Let's see what else we got going on there. There we go. Okay, let's trying to get that all set up. Let's go with the US. Let's see. So that would be that keyboard right there. Let's just put that up there. USD. And let's see what happens. Index. See what that does. See that? No. Somewhere's in here we want to do that. And what is this? Is that, which one am I looking at there? That's the one we want. We can move that over probably too. Let's move this over. One of these things will do it. As it spins away. Spin. We'll get that in there. We're going to get the dollar index in there. Let's see. What's it? XY maybe? Oh, there we go. Who do we got here? Hi. Hey, GH. Hi, how are you? And can you show us the CJ, the Aussie Swiss? Sure. And the Aussie Swiss and the New Zealand Swiss? Sure. Has short, by the way. Oh, no problem at all. Let's see. Let's go over to, let's show you. Let's see. Let's put it up on here first. Let's see, so that would be AUD Swiss. So there it is right there. Trying to put it up on the J4X. We got to get the, still working on the mechanics of all this. I want, instead of a line, I want to put the Hinky ASCIIs in there. Table, candles. We'll go candles for the time being. This is a daily, and then what we want to do is we want to put the let's see, edit. We'll worry about getting the Hinky ASCIIs in there a little bit, and we'll try to get these lines across from each other straightened out. As you can see, the green line is above the yellow dashed line. And let's put it over here. Let's see, let's use this mouse right there. So here comes AUD Swiss. AUD Swiss. Where do we go with that? Let's go like this. Let's find a spot and put it in there. Let's see. Let me see. New Zealand. Let's do this. Let's add a new one. So activate, and that's activated. And let's make a copy of that. And then we'll use this. And paste. And so we see it there trading at 112.88 on the offered side. No, that's not it. Let's see. Let's get that up there straightened out also at the same time. Right there. Oh, right there. So we go like that. AUD Swiss. There we go. There's the AUD Swiss. You see it's trading at 62.95. 98s are offered. This is throwing in a calculation in there on the daily. There we go. And let's get it up on Chicago Quant now. Right there. I sell on both of them. You want to sell on both of them? Cool. Let's see what our math says. Let's see. Instrument. And we go cash. And we go, let's see, was that AUD? AUD. Well, that didn't work. There we go, like that. AUD. There we go. Swiss. Where are you, Swiss? CHF. Put my glasses on so I can see if I put the right dots in where they belong. There it is. There. Let's see how. Oh, it's a forward slash. So I put a forward slash in there. That's cool. So forward slash CHF. There we go. Cache. Load it. AUD forward slash CHF. Look up. Not there. Let's put it in. What is it in? This is, what is this? This is in 4x. Why is it not showing it as 4x? That's interesting. All right, we'll get this figured out in a second. Exchange. So it's there. Why isn't that not coming up? Let's cancel that. 4x. Add symbol. And let's do that again. AUD. Okay. There we go. No, not a stock. Cache. Look up. AUD again. There we go. Now we got it. Okay. And we're like, okay, close. AUD CHF now. We got it right there. Let's load her in. What am I doing? I'm loading it into the system. Instrument different time zones. Let's fix that. Settings. Inserting the math. That's what we're doing. We're inserting the math. Local. And let's see. Let's see if it makes sense to be short or not. And AUD, like so. 4x, there we go. Come on. I'll put it in a cache. There we are. AUD Swiss right there. AUD Swiss right there. There we go. And the answer to your magical question is okay. And here she comes. Let's fix the bottom one too. AUD. Cache. Right there. And here's your magical answer. It's been in a short since the 66 area right there. You can see that. Let's put the line in there for you. On a weekly basis, it's been in a short since there. And then it's still in a weekly sell right now. It's been in a daily buy for, I guess, let's see, right, where to go in the daily buy? Went into the daily buy right here. So we'll move this one over like so. It's been in a daily buy since there. And it's still in a daily buy, so be careful about being short at the moment. When this goes back into a daily sell, then it would be well worth getting short. Let's see. Wow, we'll see. GH says, by the way, I sell both. What are you doing? J4X got all. If you want to see chart, I just installed J4X for 10-minute time frame. You want to see what a 10-minute time frame looks like? We can do that too. And let's put the sell, move that sell line over. The sell was right there, right there. There it is. There's the sell. So that was the last sell signal we got right there. And see how it went down in value. Now you want to see a 10-minute? Is that what would you like to see? Instead of a daily? We can do that. See what a 10-minute looks like on this thing. truly entertaining, I'm sure. And the time frame. Minutes. 10. And days back. Let's just go with like 3 days back or something like that. Let's see what that looks like. This should be fun. So it went into the 10-minute cell back in here. Stayed in that cell until right here. So let's put those lines in for you. So there's the 10-minute cell right there. And then it went into a buy right here. And then it lasted for till there. So let's fix that. And then it went back into a sell again right here. Let's see, we'll tell you in a second. Is that a minus? That's not a minus, so it's the next one over. So I went into a sell right there. Didn't really do anything. Jumped back into the buy right. See what that is. That's a minus. So that one right there. So went into the daily buy again right there. And there's the daily buy. An intraday buy, intraday buy, intraday buy. And then I guess it went into the sell right there? No, right there on this one. And the next bar it went into the buy again. Let's widen this out for you to see all this. I'm not a big fan of minutes, so there's a more accurate way of predicting it through our mathematics. But just go like that, there's the sell, and then there is a sell again right there, and there's your buy. Okay, so with our math, let's scrunch that up to where we started paying attention to it. So it went into the sell here at 10:24. It must have been last night. Went into a buy here at 5 a.m. this morning in Eastern. I'm thinking. Let's see what we're time now. That should say 8:30. What is that? That says, yeah, there's 8:30. So this is Eastern Standard Time, and it went into the buy here, and it was a very bad buy too. Look at it. You lost money, so you gave back a few. Just a couple ticks from all this nice big win, and then it went into a sell and basically gave you almost nothing out of it. Goes into the buy here, you lose a little bit here, and then it makes it all back right there for you, and then it goes into a sell again, then right back into a buy and another winner chicken dinner, making whatever you lost there as a profit. And now you're in the short right now for the last 10 minutes, or 10 minutes, 20, 30, 40, 50 minutes. There we go. How's that? All right, now let's see what you have to say on the chart there. This is the AUD Swiss. My strategy: I can take, trade, and discount. Huh? 63.58 is my open price. Well, open price for what? 10 minutes ago, or the next 10 minutes, or what's that got to do with things? Is it the next 10 minutes? So in other words, where's it at now? It's trading at 62.99. So, right, I get that part. It's AUD CHF. But what is 63.58 is my open price. So you're short at 63.58, or you're long from, or closing, or open? What are you doing there? My TP, what's TP stand for? It's 62.30. What's that, like a stop? That's probably your stop, right? It's a STP. So that's your stop at 62.34. Okay. I am open short. Okay, cool. And where are you short from? 63.58? And I guess our math went into, we were a little bit lower. We went into the sell here. We went into one of them. There's a sell there at, see that box? Can you see that? That's 63.50. That was around Sunday night. That's the first short for a nice ride. So you're using a 10-minute chart, and you're still short from all the way up to here, right? Is that what you're saying? 63.58 opening price. Yeah. Okay, cool. We've gone into a short from there. Since when you went into a short, we went into a short, and then we went into a cover, and we went into a short again, and so forth and so on. So that's the first one right there. That was the first short. And then it went back into a buy right there for that. And then it went into a sell again there. Went all the way down to here, and then went into a buy for a couple that didn't do anything and lost a little money. Gave some profits back. But it's been a winner overall in a 10-minute period. And still in the short from here now. From the 63.05. And it's traded down to what? 62.94. Oh, okay. And you're using a 10-minute chart for a daily overnight trade. Okay. Interesting. I see. Okay. Very interesting. All right. What was the other one? What's the other product? You were looking at NZD Swiss, right? Okay, that makes sense. And also you want to look at NZD Swiss. Let's see what that looks like. Let's load that in. Instrument. NZD. We have to add that too. Okay. NZD. Look up. There it is. Swiss. Add. Okay. Close. Now let's put that in there. NZD Swiss. NZD Swiss. There we go. All right, and then what we have here, here's the 10-minute again, and it's been in the sell from here. Went into the buy right there. Let's move that over a little bit. There's the buy. The sell was right there. This buy goes right there. That sell stays there. That buy goes there. We can move this guy over to here. There's your sell right there. Do you see all those lines in there I'm putting in? Maybe I need to make them thicker. Let's do it like this. Maybe a little bit more. How's that? That looks better. I like that. And so then the buy. And then the sell again. And there's a buy there. Let's see if this helps you out seeing the size of the lines. Right there. Right there. And then the last one, we're in a sell still. I notice we're getting a volatility signal from it right now. We got a red and green dot developing there. Why? Right there. There we go. How's that? Also, it looks like the weekly. Look at the weekly. The weekly's trying to get into the weekly buy. So that's pretty cool. I don't know if you care about longer trends. Let's see. So, let's see. GH says 0.057. Let's put it up on J4X too at the same time. Oh, mouse. Right there. Where's it at? Right there. What's this? This is NZD Swiss. NZD. Right there. There we go. So it's at 56.79, as you can see on the J4X, and you can see we're flirting with a little move on the upside there. So what's your numbers there? Let's see. So stop is take a profit at 55.74. Okay. Take open price for short at 57.47. Okay. That one was right there. We went into the sell. Let's put that in there. Where's that line? Right there. So that was, let's make it full like that. No, that didn't work. Let's try it again. There it is. This will extend it down. So we went into the sell. Not that one. The next one over at, what was that? That was 57.29. And it stayed in this. Let's see. Oh, it went into the buy right there. So let's put that in there. Our math is much more sensitive. We can change that to be less sensitive. And there's the buy. Then back into a sell again off of this one right there. My strategy. Daily is short and many days in correction now. It's in a short. Okay. Now let's take a look at it on our, let's do this. We're going to keep this 10-minute chart. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put another chart in there with our day and week, just to have a much more better conversation on day and week type of opinion. And so we go like this, file, paste. There we go. And now let's put that in there. Let's see, what is this? This might be 3 or 4 days trade open. Okay. Let's see, what was that? NZD. Cash. There we are. Swiss. Okay, let's fix that. Settings. And then let's put it in here too. NZD. Cash. And Swiss. And let's do this one. Now, that looks like it's going into a weekly buy, which is interesting. NZD. Let's see what the daily's doing. There we go. That's interesting. That's been in a daily buy since here? No. There? No. There. So it went into the daily buy here, and it's not in a sell yet. It's, it's still pretty high up. But look at this. It's been in the weekly sell. Let's move this over. Went into the weekly sell up in here in almost the 659 area. 59.20s, 40s, something like that. So it's been in the sell since there on a week-to-week basis. So it's been in a bear mode for a while. As a matter of fact, it was nice as it was in a daily sell from here. So that was a real nice big win. And then it went into a buy off of that thing there. Gave you a great opportunity to make buku American dollar. Or in this case, Swiss saltine. And then went into a sell off of this right there. Or was it there? It was right there. Okay, so went into the sell right there. And jumped back into the buy right here. So you give up a little bit of this profit. Nothing major there. And then It's been telling you not to be short for all these days here. But it is weak today. You can see that right there. But we're all these, our in mathematics is telling us that it's not breaking down yet, and that's the interesting one, is the weekly is trying to lift up. Have you seen a chart, question mark, or always trading with this add-on? Let's see, chart. Have I? I've been using this for about 45 years. I've back tested it further years back, of course, but I've been using it live for 45 years. How's that? Does that make any sense to you? So, oh, you're new in trading? Okay. Well, that's not a bad idea about the shorter term. I mean, using a... How's your back test on that 10-minute? Has it worked out pretty well or what? I mean, short term... I always say here on the the webinar that use the same indicators that got you into a trade, out of a trade, and I also say, an intraday trade should function off the same indicators that a daily or a weekly or a monthly trade works. I can send you what about your back track record? Nah, don't need it. I got my math. I'm happy with it. It's been profitable a long time now. So there's no... I mean, I look at... what it really comes down to is, at GH what the problem is I'm not a big fan of minutes. I don't use minutes. I find them to be behind the accuracy, not ahead of it. So in other words, let's say if you would have done it in contracts or ticks, I'd be like, oh yeah, I'd be glad to see that. But over the decades I've learned that minute charts are just they're behind, they're not ahead. Now I follow daily and weekly on the webinar here. I show daily and weekly all the time just to give everybody a good idea of general trends, what the real general trend is, and the success of it. In other words, we went into a weekly sell right here, and we're still in it. Now you can see no markets move in a straight line. The daily sell went into it right here, and you can see that combined together was a nice big win. Then we get a daily buy here, but we're still in a weekly sell, so you don't get long off of that. You just kind of stand it aside. But I've learned over the decades that intraday minute charts are less accurate than what I refer to as spatial mathematics, and that is contracts and ticks. So a tick chart is much more accurate than a minute chart, or a contract chart is more accurate than a minute chart. That's the reason why it's like I don't have much of an interest for it, because I've already learned throughout the decades that the minute charts are behind the curve. They're behind. They're not a leading indicator. They're a lagging indicator. Does that make any sense to you? How to open in discount? Open in discount. What do you mean? More RR research if open trade in shadows. My base is daily actually. I use less minute for signals. Okay, so you don't use that 10-minute chart to enter? Which kind of makes some sense in the sense of using a short-term intraday chart to use off of a daily trend. That makes sense. So you do use a short-term intraday chart to enter on a daily trend. That makes sense. I just don't do, like I said, I just don't do 10-minute charts. I don't do 5-minute charts. Worst case scenario, I will look at a 2 or 3 minute chart, but I don't do it. because I need to do it. I only do it if I'm standing in front of a machine that doesn't have tick charts or contract charts. In other words, it doesn't have the ability to do that. And I'm somewhere and someone says, "Hey, look at this," and I look at it and I go, "Yeah, but this is in minutes," and they go, "Well, yeah," and I go, "Oh, well, it's not really that accurate." Your balance is low. Yes, I use 10-minute charts. Okay, what balance are you talking about? The balance of between 10 minute and 1 day, or your stops, or what do you mean balance is low? So yeah, we really steer clear of minute charts. Oh, okay. If my balance was about $10,000, so in other words, you mean the amount of capital you use to trade? Well, that's irrelevant. That doesn't mean anything. I've traded with, quarter billion. I've traded with, $200. You have to adjust your trade for the size of your account. So you don't, in other words, it's a to survive in the market. You have to be responsible for the amount of equity you're using. So in other words, if you're using like a $5,000, then you have to trade that size correctly. In other words, only risk say 10 or 15%. That's all. And if and then vice versa. If you're trading with 50 million, then you're only you're adjusting your position on a $3 or $4 million basis every day. It depends, because if you're let's say you have a currency position on, let's say like this case here, the NZD CHF, you're bearish that, okay? So the logic to me would be is to sell like option spreads, binaries, get short, and then if you need to adjust, you can buy another call and turn it into a flat position and lock in profit, or if your work turns around, then obviously you can get long and you can not have to adjust those options. You could also use the cash, the spot market to adjust depending on how deep in the money your calls spreads or binaries are. So it depends on your strategy. If you're a money manager and you're running these currencies for weeks and months, then that's a different strategy altogether different. If you're doing it as an intraday trader or a daily trader or a couple day trader, then you have to adjust to the size of the amount of money you're using and the strategy. What's the difference if you're bearish, right? Go sell a binary, and then when you, instead of having a stop, what you do is you can buy cash, the spot market, as to hedge the delta to your short binary. So it's this way you don't get stopped. The trick really is to not get stopped out to the point where it hurts your ability to trade. Does that make any sense? Right, exactly. So no matter how much you're using, you just have to be responsible. That's all. Sounds like you are. Sounds like you're doing it right. And then as time goes on, you just build up your capital. Your capital expands, and then you can trade bigger. That's all. But it has to be relative to your, material that you have, the money. I always think of it as like tools. Money is like tools or material. So, excellent. Well, I've shown you the 2 dailies and weeklies, and keep an eye on this. Look at that right there. I'm putting a little circly thing around it at the moment. Keep an eye on that, because we can take a look at that again tomorrow, see if this thing is starting to lift its head up. At the same time, we've been in the daily buy right here, and the thing has moved from the 56 area up to the 50, almost the 58 area. 57, what's that? 57, the high is 57.75 from going into a daily buy at 56.38. So it's been a nice little move we got on a day-to-day basis right there on the NZD CHF. And at the same time, the weekly has made a nice dashing move. Look at this. 3 weeks ago, it bottomed. Then last week, it gave you that nice move. And then, oh no, I'm sorry, this is last week right here. Last week, tried to get through the zero line and failed at it. Was trying to get going, but broke through this time manifold right here, which is these manifolds right here is a standard deviation of my math. So it kind of, it's ahead of the Bollinger concept. It's way ahead of it. Bollinger's behind my curve. And so then you have here, you have it now breaking the zero line. So that tells you that there's some buyers coming in. I have 42 days to sell EOS USDT. What is EOS? And US dollar or US, I don't know. I can look that up and see what it is. Let's see what it is. You have 42 days. In other words, it's in a binary? Is it an option? Is that currency? Let me look that up. EOS USDT. EOS / USDT. There it is. Oh, what is that? It's like a stock? Looks like a stock. Trading at about $1.07. Trade EOS to USDT and other crypto. Oh, it's a cryptocurrency, and it's the world's largest crypto exchange. Real time. You know what? I'm glad you brought that up. That's a good point. I'm glad you brought that up because I'm seeing some positive. I'm seeing the cryptos really try to break out a little bit. Let's go over to them real quick. Here's the Bitcoin. Let's see, where's that at? Right there. There's Bitcoin. Here it comes. Right there. There's the Bitcoin. Bitcoin is showing some real pressure. It closed in a daily buy yesterday, and it's still moving up today. And at the same time, look at the weekly. The weekly is really pressuring itself to go up. Oh, wait a minute. That's last week. So let me get that in there too. Cancel. Format instrument. Settings. There we go. Now this will have it updated. There we go. Yeah, so, okay, there we are. So, Bitcoin closed in the weekly buy last week. Okay, right there. Let's put that in there. That's what I saw on one of the charts earlier today. I was like, I think I needed to talk. I was going to talk about this today. You've brought us right where we wanted to be. You brought us into a very interesting conversation. And then, so it closed in a weekly buy last week. And you can see it's still very strong today. I think the cryptos are actually, I think, I mean, we were hoping that they would become a place that money would run to. Unfortunately, they become more of like, if you want to be long equities, and be long crypto too at the same time. So, look how flat-lined. I mean, cryptos bounce between 1,800 and like 20,000, 18,000 to 20 and 20,000 and a half area. Oh, I think they're a great alternative. I think they're a new asset class. I don't think the story's even been written yet about cryptos, honestly. I think cryptos are going to be a much more productive product as time goes on. I really do. I agree with you. I think that we've been big fans of the crypto universe here for years now. I have no problem with cryptos. And you can see, like here, we went into the weekly sell up in this area here. Let's tighten all that up. Let's see, like that. Yeah, we went into the weekly sell up in the, I think it was right there actually. That's the minus right there, right? Yeah, that's the minus. So we went into the weekly sell right there, the end of that week. And we could have been obviously even in it more, make it extended like that. So we went into the weekly sell, the close of this week. At the same time, we went into a daily sell. Let's put that in there too. Right there. So it went into the daily sell there. And then the rest of the week it was bearish anyway, so it was just going down. And then you get your bounces, of course, but you don't take the longs because we're in a weekly sell right here. You can see the pressure in this. So we saw this thing come down from the $24,000 area in our weekly sell all the way down to $18,000 over here, like 5 weeks later. So that's a pretty good return. And so, but I'm looking at this now. Look at this. And let's look at the stock market, right? Let's check the stock market out. And there's the S&P 500. And you can see it did the same basic thing over the same X amount of months. Thing is that it bottomed earlier. Let's see if we can go back to that again. Where's the Bitcoin? The Bitcoin bottomed much earlier. Locked itself in the $18,500, $19,000 area back in September, in here, I guess you could say, the beginning of September, okay? And when you go and look at the stock market kept on falling all the way to October. And so the cryptos, we talked about this here, and we mentioned it, that we thought the cryptos are leading more than they are following nowadays. And you can see here, the cryptos now are in a weekly buy from last week, but the S&P 500 stock index is trying to climb into the weekly buy this week. So cryptos are really starting to become a leader. It has that look to it. And as a matter of fact, that was the topic I wanted to talk about today. So that worked out really well with you exploring the two intraday things and then going to this EOS situation. Because there's no doubt about it that the cryptos are a new asset class separate from the central banks. And we all know the central banks are in real sloppy situations. Matter of fact, there's an article today. How can I use the app you use? Should it buy a package or something? Here, I'll give you a direction to go with that. Hold on a second. Let's see, where are we at? Which machine am I on? I see, that's it right there. Let's see if I can find it. I'll find it for you in a second. And then you can go from there. I guess it's here. And this will help you out. Let's see. Nope, wrong area there. Escape. Let's go to there. I honestly need to pay attention sometimes on which keyboard I'm hitting. I think that did it. That did it? Yeah. There we are. There it is right there. So GH, just you can go to that website and follow through with them. And there's the data right there. Now let me get rid of all this mess. So right there. All right. Let me go. Let's see where we're at. Oh yes, cryptos. Back to the cryptos for conversation. Where did I leave off with the cryptos? Yeah, I don't think the story is finally written. MetaTrader 4.0. That's been around a long time. It's okay. It's just your average system. Nothing major. Um, the cryptos have, like I said, I don't think the story's over with. I think that Forex and cryptos in the end result are going to be the more productive products in trading. I can't believe that the currencies don't become more productive again, like, volume wise. We've lost 50-60% of the volume in currency markets, and we've lost the same thing over in equity markets. We've lost a lot of volume since the collapse of the financial system in 2008. So, but yeah, you see the website I threw up there. You can go to that, and that'll help you out. You can contact through there. Right there. And this way you can go to the, then you can talk to Robin and so forth. But no, I think that it makes total sense to look at intraday charts on a longer term process, like through days and weeks. I think that makes sense. I think that it does, and that's why we do the webinars. We look at currencies here and indices and commodities on a daily and weekly basis, but we showed you our short term. You see how it acted. You can give us a product, I can throw it up on there, and the odds are our math is going to accurately predict the direction before the direction comes. So it's always going to be a winner in the overall scheme of things. You'll have your loss here and there, but it has its own ability. It has this consciousness of math that creates a stop naturally itself. Tells you that the I always say our math is identifying buying and selling pressure, supply and demand. It identifies supply and demand, and unfortunately, for so many years now, we've lost the fundamentals to supply and demand, and that's the story, really. And in the end result, then we could actually label this webinar "Supply and Demand of Cryptos." Cryptos leading supply and demand. And that's really what the cryptos are doing now. They are really, they're matter of fact, I was going to say something about an article. Oh, Russia, yeah. Well, that's got to change. I view Russia like in American history, like it's 1774 or 1778. In other words, there's no real constitution yet. You don't have any real solid laws yet. Like we passed the Constitution in 1776, and it took a while for it to all get organized. I mean, George Washington, the general, became the president. I think it was in 82 or something like that, or 90, 88, or I don't know, something like that. They had elections. It took 14 years for them to have elections. Now, Russia what do you get, about 3 elections now over the last 18 years or something like that. And so, it takes some time to get organized. It'll get organized. Russia will be a really I think the Russian Federation, whatever's left of it in the end, is going to be a very good, strong economic country. But I think you're going through your revolutionary period right now, and it's been going on since the 90s. The revolutionary period's been going on for about 30 some odd years. So it's not that far-fetched when you really think about it. Remember how America had 150 years to figure out how to write the Constitution. And here you are, the Russian Federation has been involved with trying to do the same thing over a 30-year period. So there's plenty of time for it to figure itself out. It's gonna be painful, just like any birth is, Um, but when you really think about the American Constitution and the creation of this country here in the United States, it started in 1618 under William Bradford, okay, and at Plymouth Rock, and it took years for them to figure it all out. And then you got to figure. Then it went from years to decades. And once they got going with that, then things really started to move in a better direction. And you got to figure 1618 to 1776. You're talking 158 years. 158 years we worked at putting together, our colonies, creating laws, fighting with the king, all that stuff. It took a long while. So, 1992 to 2022 is only 30 years. It's gonna happen. Now the question is, are there going to be assets you can buy today or the next couple of years that will survive the revolution? That's the question. The building of the laws and so forth. Usually, like real estate's a biggie. Minerals, things like that. Investing in companies that will not have much pressure on them. Things like that. Back to power. Well, I guess, it's always, in a modern era with planes and trains and technology, Russia should be a much more, sophisticated country than what it is. It doesn't have the laws yet, but then again, like I said, it's only 30 years, so you got to give it. It's going to take some time to get it to go. You're part of the revolution era, revolution part of the era. Whereas, also I'm living in America, where we've been, the revolution's been over with to a great extent. I mean, we're going through some odd times at the moment with the Democrats because they want to be CCP. They want to be Soviets. Our Democrats want to be Soviets. I don't think you really want to be a Soviet because it went bankrupt. So I'm living. Oh, you're in Iran. Okay. Oh, I thought you said Russia. I have friends in Iran. So, yeah, things will change there too. I mean, Queen take Mullah in our country and left them here. I hear you. I hear you. The Persians I know, they don't even take the Revolutionary Guard too serious. They really don't. They look at, like it's going to go away one day. They're willing to put up with 50 years of that stuff, I have friends up in the north and so forth, and they grew up during the revolution, during the loss of the Shah, the Shah leaving, and the Ayatollah coming in. And matter of fact, they now talk about how they've lived in America longer than they lived in Iran, and so forth. But they're on the phone with family all the time because the family business is still functioning there. So, yeah, it sounds like things are changing. It's tough. I mean, like I said, it's you need law and order. Yeah, right, exactly. Oh yeah, no doubt about it. It's unfortunate. I know, I hear you. At the same token, you can, it's change comes, through pain sometimes, unfortunately. So, all right, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to start trading myself in a few minutes. So, GH, I'm glad you'd come in and say hi. And, talk to you later on. But this was really good stuff. I appreciate that. it's unfortunate that people do suffer. I agree with you. Yeah, it's a matter of time. What it comes down to, it's not as much knowledge, is that laws have to become more functional. I don't have an Instagram. I'm on Facebook and so forth. But I got to jump now. But we'll talk to you tomorrow, and you can contact the site and get to me through there too at the same time, right there. So this is Doc from North America saying everybody have a safe and smart trading day, and happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. All right, and did they boycott it? Yeah, you never know what's going on. The government controls too much. Be safe, be smart, traders. Catch you later.